guys, what's cooking? Welcome back to our channel. So for today, I'm going to teach you how to make one of the most popular cakes here in the Philippines this Christmas season, and that is this cake right here, which is the ube cake or the purple yam cake. And then I'm going to add a little twist to it by adding our special ube jam in the mix. Now, if you want to know more on how to make this delicious cake for this Christmas, just keep on watching.
Here are the ingredients for reference. Please check description box for further details. So these are the ingredients. We have white sugar, ube flavor, purple food color, evaporated milk, salt, baking powder, our vegetable oil, our all-purpose flour, or you can use cake flour also, and our fresh eggs. So let's separate our egg whites from our egg yolks. Now make sure that the bowl you are using is free from grease, oil, or water so that there won't be any issues when you whip up your whites, because if you have those, the tendency is your whites won't stiffen up. And make sure that you don't have any little drop of egg yolk, so be very careful with it that you won't break your yolks. It's okay if you break it there on a separate bowl, but not on the bowl where you have your egg whites. So let's go ahead and whip our yolks. Actually, this is not really necessary, but you can use just your whisk if possible, that if you don't have that mixer. So I just wanted to fluff it up some more, so I added sugar a little bit at a time. So I continue on beating the yolks until it's almost like light yellow or pale yellow in color, which is just like this. And as you can see, it is already fluffed up. And then after that, I went ahead and added our milk and then our oil. And then our food color and our purple yam flavor. So food color is not necessary. I just wanted a little bit of punch of color in my batter. So you can opt not to use that. So just continue mixing until it's well incorporated. Go ahead and get your strainer and pour in your dry ingredients, which are the all-purpose flour, the salt, and the baking powder. Now you want to make sure to sift it properly so that there won't be any lumps in your mixture later on, and that the impurities in your powders will be taken off. If this is your first time in our channel, welcome. Please don't forget to hit subscribe so that you will be notified with every uploads that we do every week. So now let's go ahead and mix our batter into one smooth mixture. Just keep on spinning your bowl just like that, and then eventually you'll have to shift to a whisk to mix it more. Just like this. And then once it's all incorporated and with that texture, let's go ahead and set this aside, and then let's start our meringue. So you would need white sugar and cream of tartar to make the meringue. So let's go ahead and get our stand mixer or a hand mixer and whip up our egg whites. And once it's all frothy and bubbly, you want to go ahead and add your cream of tartar. So let's add our cream of tartar in that stage. And then after a bit, you would want to add your white sugar a little at a time. Don't dump in every single sugar because the tendency is it will weigh down your meringue. So just pour in your sugar slowly. I know this is very technical, but yeah, it can be done. Just continue on adding sugar a little bit at a time. And as you can see, our texture of the mixture is actually getting a little thicker in every single minute. So now that it's in the stiff peak stage, you can go ahead and stop mixing it. Don't overbeat your egg whites as well. So that's already done. So let's incorporate our batter and our meringue together. So what I did is I cut and fold the meringue to make sure that it does not deflate. So you want to add the meringue in 3 batches. Don't dump it in all at once. So continue on cutting and folding until you're finished with all your meringue and until you won't see any of the whites or the meringue on your batter. So now that we're done, let's go ahead and prepare our baking pan. So let's grease it up with butter, and then we're gonna add parchment paper at the bottom of it so that it would be easier for us to take out our cakes later on once it's cooked. Actually guys, I'm showing you how to have that circle base on the bottom of your pan. So just fold it up just like that, cut it out, and once you're done, it's actually almost the same size as the base of your pan. So go ahead and place it on your pan, and then let's go ahead and pour in our batter. So in this video, I'm actually using a 24 centimeter diameter pan, but this is kind of wide, so if you want to use a smaller pan, it would be better so that you'll save up with the batter. So you bake this at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes. Once it's cooked, go ahead and turn it over directly to your tray and then wait for it to cool down. Automatically the cake will be taken off from the pan. So it's just easy, just like that. And then after that, we're gonna wanna take out the parchment paper and then flip the cake over so that your top of the cake will not be deformed. And place it back in the cooling rack. So in this stage, I actually did 2 of that mixture because I had a very big pan, but you can use just 1 if you have a small one. So once the cakes are totally cooled, go ahead and slice the top layer off with a bread knife or a cake knife, and then do another layer. So I'm making 4 layers for this cake. Start with our frosting. So we're gonna need a whipping cream. So in my end, I was using Bunge, or you can use any other brand that is stable and your trusted brand. So I added ube food flavor, and then you can also add food color later on if you don't like the light purple on it. I actually did added a little bit. So this won't take long. The Bunge actually is very stable, and then I just whip it for about a minute or 2, and that's as stiff as it can get. So I went ahead also and just whipped plain Bunge without anything in it. And this is just for contrast with the frosting inside the cake, and also later on for our crumb coat. Now it's time to assemble our cake. So you need to have a little bit of frosting on the base so that your base cake would stick to your board. If you actually don't need a board. You can actually just use your plate or your cake holder if you have one. And then I went ahead and added our ube jam. Now, this ube jam is actually a very favorite delicacy here in the Philippines. We can actually make another recipe or another video for that. So if you would want to know how this is made, go ahead and comment down below in the comment section. But you can also use the ones that are bottled if you would like. But those are a little bit not spreadable, so just add a little bit of whipping cream so that you would be able to spread it out. Then I layered on the purple frosting, and then we're gonna layer another cake after this one. So basically it's cake ube jam, and then your frosting until you're done. So it's the same procedure altogether, just continue on layering your cakes until you're done. And then after that, we're gonna start with the crumb coat for your cake. Now it's time to start our crumb coat. Now you can use the white frosting or even the purple frosting if you like. The crumb coat is just a thin layer of frosting or icing on the cake so that no crumbs will be sticking once you place in your topmost layer of icing, and that it would be smoother. So after that, you want to refrigerate it for 5 minutes so that it would be stable. And then I went ahead and placed in our purple frosting. So I used a piping bag just to make it easier for me to spread, and it's more thicker that way than just slathering in your frosting directly on the cake. And then once you're done with that, go ahead and smooth it out with your spatula. Now there's another trick you can use. Using hot water on your spatula, just dip it in and then wipe it off so that you will have a very smooth surface. But for this cake, I'm actually going after making an old-fashioned looking cake, so I won't need to smoothen it out really very well. I just need to have it leveled off. So I went ahead and continue on with the top layer, the same procedure as I did with the sides. So piping bag and then smooth it out with your spatula. So at this point, I'm kind of contented with what the surface looks like. So I went ahead and made my design on the sides of the cake. Now you can be very creative with whatever designs you want to work with. But for me, I just wanted this simple whipped up looking cake. So I went ahead and continued doing this until I'm done. So it's kind of old-fashioned. And then I added the crumb coat in the sides. The irony of it, placing crumb coat and then placing the crumbs. Yeah, I want to look like it's rustic and all, so that's why I added the crumbs. I placed in a parchment paper on the base so that it would be easy to take it off. So I added a dollop of frosting on top of the cake. So just be imaginative with the designs that you would want to do. And then after that, we would want to add cherries on top so that it would be looking more festive, especially on your Christmas table. And the turntable just turned by itself. Yeah, it happens sometimes. So that's the last one. And then on to the cherries. Don't you just love that red color on top of the purple? It's super pretty. We're almost done, so I just transferred the cake from the turntable to our cake stand. And then we're gonna add a little bit of the frosting on the sides of the cake at the bottom of it, just to have it well balanced. And then after that, I also added one single dollop and a cherry on the middle of it, just to be more pretty. And now our cake is done. If you like this recipe, please let us know in the comment section below. We do have another recipe, which is the No-Bake Mango Cheesecake, so please check that out as well. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more beautiful cakes and recipes like this. I'll see you guys in our next video. Bye!